Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about working from home. Now, a lot of young people really look forward to the idea of working from home because they believe it's great. Oh, I won't have a boss, I get to travel anytime I want, a lot more freedom, potential to make a lot more money, and there's some truth to some of these things, but there's a lot of reality to it as well. So I want to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of working from home today, and also some of the myths. Let's start with the myths. Myth number 1, you get to work less and make more money. Now, this is rarely true, especially for entrepreneurs. Most people work constantly for the first few years of being an entrepreneur. And if you're just doing your 9-to-5 job and you get to do it from home, they expect the same level of commitment that you showed in the office, so it's not like you really get off much easier usually. If this is the reason that you want to work from home, then good luck. There are a lot of get-rich-quick schemes out there, and a lot of times, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So a big topic right now is Amazon sellers, and a lot of people believe that, oh, like I can just have a good idea for a product and then I can pay somebody else to do all of the inventory management and the drop shipping all for me, and I can just sit back and collect a paycheck. But in my mind, and I'm not an Amazon seller, so I can't really comment fully on this, but I think you're setting yourself up for a lot of risk because say your product doesn't really sell for the first few months. Now you might be on the line to just be paying warehousing fees until things pick up, and what if they don't pick up? Also, what if a competitor shows up and they can offer your same product for less? Then all of a sudden you still have all this inventory and you just own it and you have to just throw it away? You know, so there are a lot of factors to take into account here, and it's not as easy as just picking something you like and just drop shipping it through Amazon and collecting thousands of dollars every month like they make it seem. Myth number 2, and that is, I won't have to pay a babysitter to watch my kid anymore if I can work from home. Now this may or may not be true depending on the job that you have. A lot of people end up getting a studio or a shared office space if they have kids or needy dogs. I have needy dogs and I just suffer. Myth number 3 is I can just go on spontaneous vacations anytime I want now. That's not true either for most jobs. A lot of jobs would require you to be doing extra work to make up for the time that you were going to be gone. Whether you're a blogger or a YouTuber, or you have to manage product inventory or something like that, you may need to even hire somebody to watch the office, in a sense, while you're gone. And so it's really not as simple as, you know, you're just off the hook and you work when you want to. Working from home does not work like that. Honestly, I don't know how travel bloggers do it. I have a really hard time working when I'm on the road or if I have to keep picking up and moving. Even if I don't really have a large painting I'm working on, it still just feels like a lot of effort every time I have to relocate. So, you know, pay attention to kind of like your work style and see if, you know, maybe traveling and working is realistic for you or not, because I don't think it's realistic for everybody. Just as a side note, a lot of people love the idea of multitasking and they just kind of think they can do everything all at once, and they'll maybe even set themselves up for deadlines that are unrealistic because they think they can work in a distracted environment. So I would just recommend that you know yourself and you just kind of study yourself. I love to use my Google Calendar to mark everything I do and then take a look and see how I did adhering to the schedule, because I may notice something like, well, you know, maybe I don't actually get to work until 8, even if I want to get to work at 7, or maybe I need to take a half an hour lunch instead of an hour lunch in order to keep the energy moving and keep the flow going. So I just recommend studying yourself before you set yourself up to be frustrated. Okay, now for the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages may be kind of obvious, but you normally do get to plan your own work schedules. So for instance, if you and your spouse need to swap times that you work so that somebody's always there to watch the kids, then maybe working from home would be great for you. Maybe you prefer working really early or working really late. You can kind of adjust your schedule usually if you work from home and work in an ideal setting. Personally, I'm an early bird. I work best in the morning. I have the freshest mind. I have the most stamina to continue working. And so I like to get as much done as I can before noon, because after noon, I start to slow down. And that's just something I've noticed from studying myself. Another advantage to working from home is that you can work from anywhere, just like we talked about before, but be aware that sometimes distracting environments aren't the best setting for everybody. So know yourself. Basically, the moral of this story is working from home means you're gonna learn a lot about you. Last advantage I'm gonna mention is working from home has the ability to give you ultimate focus on your project. So as I mentioned before, you can plan your own schedule. So maybe you work best in the morning versus late at night. Or maybe you work best when you're moving from place to place to place all day. Or maybe you work best in your bedroom or in your study or at a cafe. You can control your environment and you can really set yourself up for huge success and huge productivity if you just study yourself and understand your highest productivity setting. Okay, now comes for the embarrassing part. So there are disadvantages to working from home, and I'm gonna be real. And the first one I'm gonna mention is overeating and hygiene. And I think a lot of people can actually relate to this, even if they don't want to admit it. And it's just, if you're not gonna be in front of people, what reason do you have to shower every day? What reason do you have to actually work out every day, you know? And you can kind of become a homebody really fast. And so I guess if you're really introverted and this just makes you really happy, then I guess that's okay. Be safe. But if you're like me and you're kind of an extrovert, then I would recommend, you know, just kind of trying to get out and like take your work to the cafe every once in a while, just so that you don't get into a rhythm of staying at home, because if you're like me, it will all build up inside of you and you will start to feel very stir crazy if you haven't been outside in a while. The next disadvantage is distractions. And I'm talking about the distractions like, oh, I've been meaning to do my laundry all week, or oh, I should cook that steak on the barbecue, or oh, I guess I was supposed to fix that door a while ago. And you just kind of end up procrastinating, even though you are being productive, but it's not in the right way. Overworking. This is very common. So if you're new to this working from home thing, this may seem kind of weird, but if you work from home, then sometimes it's hard to know when to stop, because it kind of might feel like your home is your work, and you might have a hard time in your mind kind of dissociating from work when you're all done. So some people really benefit from having a strict schedule, and some people can be more loosey-goosey with the way that they run their day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I make new videos every Monday. Usually I talk about art and creativity, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!